to the 29th episode of our Vampire the Masquerade Chronicle, The Ruins of Warsaw. I'm Alexandra, and I'm the storyteller.
Hi, I'm Dolores, and I'm playing Janina of Clan Bruja.
Hi, my name is Faye, and I'm playing Beatrice Wozniak of Clan Malkavian.
As always, thank you so much for being here with us. We have a very special episode tonight, as I'm sure you are well aware. Russia has invaded Ukraine, and as such, in order to help people affected by the conflict, we have joined the Roll for Ukraine initiative with our stream. We are raising money tonight for United Help Ukraine, which is an organization that helps people that have been displaced by the Russian invasion. And the link to donate will be in the chat appearing about now. Please, if you are able to donate or spread the word, every little bit helps. So even if you can just contribute a little bit of money, it will still make a difference to the work being done to help Ukrainian people at this time. There is also some Roll for Ukraine merch being sold by Mondokane, and all the proceeds from it go to support the Ukrainian families who are trying to escape Ukraine and get to Poland. There will be a link to go and get some in the chat as well. So again, if you are able to help, please go and contribute. Roll for Ukraine is an open event involving various TTRPG streamers. It is beginning today, so we've just begun raising funds. We're hoping to beat our initial goal. There are many other streamers involved over the next 10 days. So go support them, spread the word so that as many people as possible can hear about the initiative, and so that we can increase the contributions to the charity as much as we can. If you want to join with your stream, you can find Roll for Ukraine on Facebook. They have their own Facebook page, and you can find details there for how to get involved as well, if you'd also like to help raising some money. So thank you once again. We will move on to playing VTM now. We hope you will enjoy the show. And if you've been watching us for last months and enjoying our game, please support us in this initiative. This is really important to us. And we will really, really appreciate any way in which you can either donate money or help spread the word so that it can get to as many people as possible. Thank you so much for your help. And now we will move on to what we usually do here, the next session of our VTM game. We are picking up the story where we left off soon after our two kindreds finally got round to making some steps towards the tasks they were given or volunteered to do. They have spoken to Leonard, a Malkavian they brought to Camarilla, who, when being completely detached from kindred society, led to some mortals being aware of the vampires existing in Warsaw. And Janina has volunteered to resolve that situation, following up on the task that was taken upon herself by their sister Mara. They both spoke to Leonard, who only wanted his friends to be safe and didn't particularly want to help with the task beyond that. And Janina, through non-verbal communication, managed to reassure him that she will try as much as she can to keep his friends safe. And later managed to also reassure Antoni the Hound, who tasked her with this mission, that Camarilla and its safety is more important to her, but she wants to resolve the situation so that everyone can be happy and safe. They also started work on their job for the venture primogen, which involves setting up a meeting between Bea's sire, Felicja, and her old friend, acquaintance, who now is in the Sabbat, Estera. They decided to set up the meeting for the next night, and were setting off with Felicja to do this. Felicja, not having been informed that the intent is to capture or kill Estera, Felicja still hoping that she can persuade her friend to go back to the Camarilla and undo whatever she believes was done to her. But as they were leaving, they ran into Janina's friend and former crush, who, through various circumstances before, came to know that she can find Janina in this place, and also appears to know something about kindreds and be involved with Leonard's friends. And in panic, Janina decided to meet her at the church near the clinic where Sarah works the following night, hoping to then very quickly run back to be able to participate in the meeting with Estera as well. And after that conversation, which both Bea and Felicja overheard and weren't very pleased about, to go to the Schachmeier school. And you're arriving now at the building where the school used to be. The building is standing there. It is a quite simple building, several floors tall. Janina, as you approach it, you actually recall that the building used to be a field hospital after it was a school. And it also was a place of some resistance meetings. You might have been there once. You definitely think Sarah was going there a few times. The building now is burned. There's been a fire there. You see that the walls are charred. Most of the windows are missing. The roof has collapsed. But other than that, the blackened structure is still standing. And you are outside with Felicja, who is looking around, but clearly getting ready to go inside.
I'm also going to aid her in looking around. Probably looking to see if there's anyone invisible.
Roll perception and awareness.
Okay.
Difficulty 7.
I have got 5 successes and a 1. So 4 successes.
4 successes. You are sure there's no one here?
Okay. Then in that certainty, I will turn to Janina and nod. And if Felicia is also looking, I'll nod at her.
Janina's back gives you a warm smile. Oh, well, all right then, let's... I'm pretty sure what she would want to meet up. And she starts walking inside.
I follow after pretty closely.
Janina, do you also follow?
Yes, I will also follow the last one.
What's going through your head, Janina? This place reminds you of Sarah, even if very briefly.
Well, I worry about the next night, and I really hope that I can persuade her to leave. And I may be thinking about the memories of this place that I have and seeing it right now, and it's, well, charred and almost destroyed. And I hope that I may be imagining that it can be rebuilt maybe one day.
And you all go inside. Felicia, when you are inside, starts walking straight ahead with certain confidence. You see, again, she is taking out a flashlight now. I assume you're doing the same.
Yes.
You see the walls are also blackened here. If you look into the rooms to the side, you will see some pieces of chairs, some metal frames of hospital beds, some scattered medical equipment, not much of it. Most stuff would have been removed from here by now, but there is still a little bit scattered about. But Felicia isn't paying any mind to it. She is heading straight for the stairs, examines the stairs for a moment, tries with her foot, and then starts going up. There is no banister that has burned, but the stairs are reasonably wide. She is walking up carefully, but without much issue. Are you following, or is there anything else you wish to do?
I'm staying very close to her.
And I give them a bit of space, but I also follow them after a while.
So, you get to the second floor, and Felicia walks along the corridor and turns confidently into one of the rooms and stops inside. Here you can see the windows are missing. You see some bits of chairs and desks still around here. Some partially destroyed by fire, have collapsed. Some are still standing, although pretty blackened. There is quite a lot of dust, some ash around the room, and Felicia starts. I'm pretty sure she would want to meet here. And she starts looking around the room.
Okay.
What are you doing?
I'm examining the room, kind of running a hand along some of the surfaces. Other than that, not much. I'm keeping an eye on Felicia.
Janina, do you wish to do
Yes.
something?
No, I'm just observing Bea and Felicia and maybe the room, if there's like any movement or anything.
You see Felicia start looking around. She opens one of the compartments in the desks, looks inside. She's evidently searching through the room. And it takes her a little bit of time Are you just standing? You're not helping.
If it does look as though she's looking for something specific, then yes, I will join in and start going through the desk.
Roll your perception and investigation.
Okay.
Difficulty 7
7.
here.
Okay, perception.
I'm just gonna watch because I don't have a clue what they are looking for.
Okay, that is 1 success.
1 success.
Not
So you are looking, you're not quite sure what you're looking for. You're maybe not quite sure what Felicia is looking for either.
Yeah.
But about the same time as she does, you see near the back wall of the room, on the floor, but propped up against the wall, there is a photograph, black and white, a bit faded photograph. And there is a little note on a folded piece of paper underneath it, which Felicia moves to take, unless you want to take it.
No, I'll maybe look over her shoulder curiously, but I won't take it.
So she picks up the photograph, and you see straight away in the photograph Felicia standing on one side of a group of young girls, some of them in school uniforms, some in appears to be some homemade costumes in front of the school stage. And on the other side of the group, you see the woman who looks familiar and causes a little bit of anger in you. She is a young woman with curly, dark hair, pulled back at the moment, wearing here very elegant blouse and long skirt. And Felicia glances at it for a moment and glances at the note, and
I smile at her.
She smiles back at you. She opens the note and glances at it, and then puts it in her handbag.
Could I read the note over her shoulder before she puts it away?
Not quite hiding it, but not necessarily showing it to you.
Yeah.
But you are standing very close, so I guess you would have gotten the gist of it.
Okay. Which I can roll for it if you'd like.
Yes. Roll your perception and
stealth?
I guess, yeah, perception and stealth.
Okay.
That sounds, let's do that. With difficulty 6. I'm just gonna roll for Felicia as well.
That is 4 successes.
4 successes, yes, you manage. She kind of moves. She doesn't want to be super obvious about it.
Right.
So she moves like a little bit to the side, starts reading, and you can read the note, which reads, "My dearest friend, a lot has happened since we last saw each other, and every night I miss you dearly. I know you must have heard disturbing things about me by now, but rest assured that I have not forgotten and will not forget our friendship. I learned about things that I must bring to your attention as soon as possible. This is an even more important task than what we tried to accomplish so far. There is a danger to us all, a danger of destruction much greater than that brought recently by the Mortals' War. I will explain everything. Please hear me out. I know that, you know that, like you, I always stood for learning, knowledge, and truth. Yours, Estera."
Okay. I mentally make a note of it and then kind of as she's putting it back, I look away and try to look as though I didn't see it.
She doesn't realize. She put the note in her handbag.
Okay.
Takes out another note that she would have prepared on the way, with the details you agreed on, also with conventional, and puts it in the same place. She hesitates for a moment with a photograph, but leaves it there in the end, and just swaps the note.
I go and find something. Is there anything heavy in the room that I could sort of offer as a swap?
Yeah, I mean, what are you looking for? So
like a rock or like a bit of rubble?
There's gonna be like there's going to be something. There's going to be like a piece of wood or a little piece of rubble, yeah.
I'll take that over to her and say, if you want, we can put the photo in my bag. It'll tell her that you were here.
All right, well, it's a very dear memory. I wouldn't want to take it away from her.
You can always give it back tomorrow.
Oh, that's right.
And I'll open my bag and hold it out for her.
She hesitates, and I appreciate your help, but I think I'd rather keep it with myself. And she puts it in her little handbag.
Okay, sorry, I didn't realize she had one.
No, she has a small one.
Okay, that's fine.
She put the note there as well.
Okay, yeah, perfect. And I look over to Janina.
I probably saw it from a bit of, like, I wasn't very close, so I didn't see the note. I just saw that she found something and put it in her pocket. But if Belle looks at me, I exchange glances with her. Did you want to say something, Belle?
Mostly I'm not sure about the structural integrity of this building, so we should maybe move. But no, I'll be fine. And I smile.
Of course, yes, we will be back tomorrow after all.
Indeed.
It used to be a wonderful place, a lovely, lovely school. But that was a long time ago. And she starts walking out.
Hopefully it can be rebuilt.
I'm sure someone will get to it eventually. If they're still interested in this particular one.
I move to leave.
Yeah. She starts walking towards the exit as well. What are you thinking about Bea, having seen that note? The photo.
I want Felicja to have the photo, so that if things go particularly poorly, she's still got something to hold on to. Because people seem to value that. I'm feeling a little uncomfortable with the secrets that we're keeping, but at the same time, there's a part of me that doesn't trust a word that Estera writes. I don't know her, but I know that I dislike her intensely. I know that something about her hurt me. Maybe not her exactly, it's unclear.
And you walk out. And you were going to go to your haven after that. Is there anything else you wish to do on the way?
I think I need to hunt.
All right. how do you want to go about this? Do you want to go find your herd? It's on the way?
Is it?
Or-
Okay.
where do you live would be, yes.
Okay. In which case, then yes, that would be convenient.
So you start walking. It's a bit of a walk from
Mhm.
your haven. It takes you a while. Felicia is walking very deep in thought. She isn't saying anything. She's clutching her bag a little bit. When you look at her, she gives you a reassuring warm smile, but is visibly preoccupied. Mm. And it is fairly windy right now, so sometimes you walk with a bit of difficulty against the wind, especially Felicia seems to be struggling a little bit, but not seriously so, just walks a little more slowly. And you get to the Poniatowski Bridge and begin crossing it. Felicia is following you at this point. She doesn't know where your new haven is.
Okay.
I assume only Janina knows where the new
Only-
haven
Okay,
is.
so I will lead. I will lead the group.
So yes, you are leading the group. You're crossing the Poniatowski Bridge. It's much more windy. On the bridge, you see the wind stirring some of the water in the river, as it is visible with the light of the moon. And you cross the bridge, and as you get down from it, there is a group of wooden houses near the bridge, near the Vistula River, among many bushes and trees, the very green area here. And you recognize, Bea, that this is where your herd lives.
I sort of, I'll put a hand, in fact, no, I will sort of gesture to get Felicia's attention. I'm just going to pop in here, see if I can find one of my friends. I'll be back in a moment.
Of course.
And I'll sort of slide into the neighborhood and go see if I can find anyone familiar.
So you slide into the neighborhood. You start walking between the houses. And eventually you see a woman you recognize as Kinga. She is sitting on a little porch outside one of the small wooden houses, just kind of taking a moment to rest. She put her head on her hand and is just looking into the distance, visibly tired. You see some men leave the house, talk to her for a little bit, and then he walks off. And she's just sitting there.
Once I kind of stay a bit further back until after the man has fully left from view, and then I'll head over. And if she's not paying attention, sort of slightly lean down, wave slightly to get her.
She notices you. For a long while, she doesn't. She's visibly rather tired.
Yes.
But then she kind of brightens up. Oh, Bea, I haven't seen you in a while. How are you?
I'm doing all right, thank you. How are you?
Got the baby to sleep finally. So I have a moment of quiet to myself.
Oh, that's excellent.
Isn't it? Yes. The girls told me you stopped by.
Yes. Yes, I was a little bit busy for a while. Of sorts, but
Haven't we all?
Yes, indeed. But I'm trying to make a habit of popping by a bit more frequently.
It's lovely to see you. How are you? How
Yes.
is everything?
And I will continue making small talk with her until I find an obvious opening, which, given she's tired, I'm hoping will not be too long.
No, it will not be too long. You can, without that much of a problem, find a way to sort of hug her or let her lean against you a bit and drink.
Okay. I will do that then.
How much do you take? How much blood do you have right now?
That is a good question. 2, 6.
You're 6. You're fine on 6.
Okay. I wasn't sure. Okay, so in which case, I would like to take 2.
No problem. You feel something in you would like a little bit more, but you're in control.
I'm not surprised that it does, and there's kind of a mental sort of there later. And then once I'm finished, I remove my fangs from her neck, slightly dab my mouth to make sure there's nothing left, and then carry on talking to her as though nothing happened.
Oh, she is a little bit dazed. It's like, oh, I'm sorry. I must have dozed off.
Oh no, darling, it's absolutely fine. You're exhausted. I shouldn't be keeping you up.
No, I should probably try to catch some sleep for the moment when I can.
You take care of yourself. Don't work yourself too hard.
Well, I think I have no choice with the baby.
True enough, but
it's fine. They grow.
Indeed.
I'll
stay with her until she gets inside.
I was walking in sort of look, just feeling slightly lightheaded, but then she makes it inside.
Okay.
You can help her a bit.
Mm-hmm. Once she's inside and the door is shut, that's when I'll turn and walk back to rejoin everyone else.
Meanwhile, Janina, you are left with Felicja.
We are standing on the street waiting for Bea, or are we going like
sort of? You're like you don't have to be right on the street. You can sort of walk a little bit into the green area by the river. Felicja is staying fairly close to the street. She doesn't want to go between the houses for Bea, and
I'll probably if there is a strong wind, I will probably stand between her and the wind so I could shield her a bit.
She gives you a smile. Thank you, my dear.
I will ask her if there's we are standing and not talking much. I will ask her, can I please see the picture that you took?
Oh, she looks a little bit surprised at it. But then, yes, of course. And she reaches into her handbag and takes out the same photograph of her and Estera on two sides of a group of schoolgirls, clearly preparing the school play.
How does Felicia looks the same as she looks now?
She looks exactly the same. Estera looks a little bit younger, maybe, than she seemed. From what you remember, but you don't remember that well.
Okay. So you were a teacher?
I was, yes. But that was after I tried to keep in touch with education as much as I can. It was always my great passion.
I see. And did you met with Estera there? Was she still mortal?
She was, yes. I just, a retired teacher. I just came to help out with some school plays. She was a bright young woman, wonderful teacher. She had such passion.
And I will maybe look for the picture, and I will look at Felicia at the picture and on a stair, and after a while I will give it back to her.
She takes it back. What are your thoughts as you're looking at the picture?
Well, I'm trying to picture Felicja as a teacher, and there's like a bit of like admiration for her, that like I feel that, because I have very like conflicted feelings about Felicja, and in this moment I feel warmer towards her, because in this picture it does seem that she cared about the students, and she obviously cares about Esther even before she became a kindred. So it's another thing that makes me feel warmer towards Felicja recently.
And not long after that exchange, Bea comes back.
Hello again.
Hi.
Are you all fed, my dear, now?
Yes.
Wonderful.
I look to Janina.
Look forward to seeing your new home. You worked so hard for it.
Yes, I say, definitely remembering what it looks like. Having been to it once, and it's been several days, and my memory is not the best.
So I will continue leading them towards our haven.
And
maybe on the way I will like tell to both to Felicja and to Bea like the things that I remember about our haven, like the phone. And that's all I remember. But I'm sure Janina remembers more.
Yes, you remember where it is. You describe the haven. And then you get to it's not very far from where you are right now. You sort of have to cross the street that leads to the bridge and go along the river in the other direction. Then the wooden settlement. And then you find the 4-story building. Your flat is on third floor. And you go inside. You see the same space of a living room with small bathroom and 2 bedrooms. And a little room that probably would have been a kitchen bit, but it hasn't been quite finished as that. You have 2 bikes there. You have indeed a phone with phone numbers for contacting Cornelia of Clan Ventru, and for contacting Camarilla at Hotel Bristol. You have shutters and curtains to block sunlight. It is not luxurious, but is well equipped.
I'm trying to not look too much like I'm seeing it for the first time, but I'm basically seeing it for the first time again, and there's this sort of feeling of pride in seeing it, and that this was something that we worked for. I maybe don't remember exactly how it came to us, but yes, and otherwise checking on Felicja.
Felicia is looking around as well. Oh, well, this is very nice. Oh,
Indeed.
I'm happy for you, both of you.
And you're welcome here whenever, Mother.
Oh, I will try to stay as much as possible. I like to have you girls close.
Yes. Well, at some point we'll need to see about getting some more decorations, but it's certainly a useful space. We can make it more homely.
I'm sure you can. It's going to be lovely when you're done with it. I know it. Indeed. And she focuses on it for a bit, clearly imagining possible decorations.
Sorry, in terms of like seating furniture, was there chairs? Sorry,
There would be a table and chairs and some armchairs, maybe a sofa.
Okay, in which case I'll probably take a seat and start trying to keep in my head the events that have happened.
Yes, you still need to confirm with Cornelia,
Yes.
Ventro, that it has been set up.
Mm.
But that's a simple phone call.
Mm-hmm.
We will watch Bea make a phone call.
Yes. Actually, I'll ask Janina to show me how to use the phone again.
I will gladly show her.
So I very slowly dial around the numbers.
Yes.
And I'm like supporting you, like you're doing a great job.
And it's sort of feeling both a sense of familiarity and also this sense of complete novelty. I make the phone call through to Cornelia.
You first have someone else answer, but they say they will ask Cornelia to the phone. And you wait a little bit, but then she's there. Hello. Good evening, Ms. Wozniak.
Good evening, Cornelia. Just to let you know, that's all organized.
Thank you. Everything is ready on our side as well.
Good. Well, I hope you have a pleasant evening.
You too, and good luck tomorrow.
Thank you. And I will put the phone down. And then go and sit down and try and find something to occupy myself with for a bit. So I'm not just sitting.
You don't have that much except for the things you have on you. It's a pretty, like, you have all the basic furniture in there. Some bedding. There's maybe not much in terms of things. Well, I don't know what sort of thing you would be looking for.
Well, if we knew that we were heading over here, I probably would have taken some of my sewing equipment with me.
Then absolutely, you have that.
Okay, in which case I'll see if there's anything that's needing mended, and get to work on that. I just don't want idle hands.
I'm probably going to the window and just look outside.
You're looking outside on the street. The window is going out from the living room onto the street. Outside the building. You spend some time there looking. The few trees swaying in the wind. Occasionally, someone walks along the street, but it is pretty empty right now. It is fairly late. Anything in particular you're thinking about as this is going on?
Well, I'm thinking about tomorrow, about Sarah, and the meeting with Estera, and hope that everything will go as planned. But there is like a worm in my head that I know that it's probably not going to go as I want to, but I'm trying to think positive. And maybe I also think about, like, if I see like the people outside on the street, I maybe like think about them, about their lives, what they are doing, just like to take my mind out of my own things. So I try to live vicariously some other people's lives.
So you wait there for a little bit as Bea is sewing Felicia, is inspecting the place.
I'm imagining her looking dust.
She's not quite doing that. She's kind of looking what is in there.
Yeah, I know. I just imagine it.
Cataloging all the things in her head. She starts preparing some bedding for the night in the rooms. Clearly keeping herself busy. And you spend like that some time, unless you want to talk to each other.
I probably like glance at Bea from time to time, but I don't initiate any like conversation except like the polite things that we usually like just chat.
Yeah, well, at one point sort of go, how do you know Sarah? If you don't mind me asking.
No, of course not. You're my sister. I want to share with you everything. We met when I was still mortal and I worked at the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
She was another nurse and we became friends. She had children already, but she didn't have a husband at the moment. So the kids were always like playing at the hospital when we were working. So they became like my other family.
Children are good for that.
Yeah, they were very lovely.
That sounds like a nice memory.
It is. I would ask you about your nice memories, but I know you don't remember much. But if you ever remember anything, I would love to hear it.
Thank you. I say, and I reach up and touch my locket, and unthinkingly, not without real intention, I'd like to activate Spirit's Touch.
Absolutely. Roll perception and empathy with difficulty 8.
I have 1 success and 2 ones.
All right. What could possibly go wrong?
A false memory.
So,
sorry.
Well, okay. So let's play it as it actually should be. So what happens is you unthinkingly focus on your lockets, and you are filled with the sense of loss and emptiness and something missing, something being gone from you, something being taken, and you feel everything drained from you, and you are just stunned for a moment. What normally rules-wise happens is you are stunned for half an hour. We're not necessarily going to play it by the time. But what happens, Janina, is you're talking to Bea, and she's been playing with her locket. And you see her sort of freeze up and start shaking a bit and looking in the distance with this kind of empty gaze, still clutching the locket in a shaking hand.
I will quickly kneel in front of her and try to touch her.
I think as that's happening, a single tear is kind of running down her cheek. If I'm not, I don't think I'm aware of whatever.
No, you're not. You're just you're aware of something unpleasant around you, and you are aware of this emptiness and sense of things being taken, being lost, disappearing from you, your own memory disappearing, everything that you are, that you were, getting lost in the nothingness. Bea doesn't respond. You see a bloody tear dripping down her cheek.
I will smear the bloody tear away from her face and just take her face in my hands and like try to hug her. But I'm doing it very like lightly because I know that she's sensitive to the touch. So I'm just like trying. If she lets me, then I will do it. Then I will continue. If not, then I will just.
I would suggest, I don't know if Faye wants to interject, but in this state, Bea would kind of instinctively pull away without being aware of it. But
no, I would agree with that.
Yeah.
Okay, then I will just like try to talk to her. Bea, are you all right? What happened?
Felicja leans in at the same moment, and she comes up as well.
And I will explain to her that we were talking and that she touched her locket, and then she seems disturbed.
Felicja reaches gently for Bea's hand and takes the locket out of it. And she starts humming and singing a lullaby, just sitting nearby, looking very worried, very focused on Bea. And some time passes. Some more time passes, and Bea, inside this emptiness, you become aware of a melody that sounds familiar. You don't remember the words, or you don't remember what they mean at this moment. But the melody is familiar. It's coming from somewhere nearby.
I think I start slightly swaying, not really noticing, just in time to it, but there's maybe, as things become a little clearer, she'll join in with humming, but there's not too much. I'm trying to latch on to this feeling of familiarity in this sort of horrible ocean of loss. This is the one thing I know.
And gradually you, Janina, see that Bea starts. You hear that Bea starts humming.
I just kneel in front of her and I feel very guilty because I feel like that I said something that made her this way. So I'm not humming with them. I'm just like sitting and worryingly watch Bea.
Bea, eventually you become aware of Janina and Felicja, your mother, around you. Felicja is close but not quite touching you, just humming the melody. Janina is sitting, looking at you. You are in the place you don't recognize.
I'll look at Felicja, blink a couple of times, give her a very shaky smile, and then look to Janina and do the same thing, a little confused, but recognizing them. Sorry. I don't know what happened.
No, Bea, I'm sorry. I probably said something and it upset you. I'm sorry.
Felicja gives a reassuring smile. Oh, I'm sure it doesn't matter right now, girls.
I look to Janina. It's water under the bridge. I give her a smile.
I smile back at her, but I'm still watching her, with worried eyes.
Right. I think I'm going to get... In fact, what time is it?
It's just a little bit time in the night, but not like massively. What would you like to do?
I think just get ready for bed.
Oh yes, that's absolutely fair. That's absolutely fair.
Just do a very slow routine.
It's midnight and Bea is already.
No, it's later than that. It's like quite later in the night. You still could like quickly go somewhere if you wanted to like jump out and feed or something, but it's also fine for just lying in bed. And Felicia said, of course, I made a bed for you.
Thank you, Mother. And I'll very shakily stand up and head through to the bedroom. There's 2 bedrooms?
There's 2 bedrooms, yes.
There's 2 bedrooms, yes. So one of them.
Felicia stays with you for a little bit. Just starts singing to you again.
Mm-hmm. I'm grateful for that. As this place feels new and scary and I don't understand it. This clearly isn't familiar to me. But Mother is. Mother is the only thing that I feel so strongly towards. Janina, I feel strongly as well, but there's something in my chest that tells me that Mother is who I need to be close to.
Janina, what are you doing?
I will probably stay with Bea and Felicia for a bit, but when I see that Bea is trying to get ready for bed, I will leave her with Felicia and I will go to the other room.
Mm-hmm. So you're in the other room and you hear them knocking at the door. You both do, actually.
I will probably go and open because I know Bea is with Felicia, so I'm trying to go to the door because I know that it might be Daniel.
It is indeed Daniel.
So I'm expecting him, so I'm rushing towards the door with thinking that it's Daniel probably.
It is Daniel. He's standing there. He's a bit dirty coat, covering his whole body. His hands are in his pockets. He's looking at you.
I'm glad you made it.
Had a bit of trouble getting through the front door, but someone was able to open it for me.
Nice. And I will lead him. I will show him quickly the main room, and I will then lead him to our room.
He looks around. He goes with you to the room. It kind of slumps onto a chair. So what is going on? You said.
Yeah.
You need me?
Yes.
What was going on is something I'm worried.
Well, yes. On our way here, we met. Well, I met with Sarah. She is the nurse that I am familiar with from my mortal days, and she was at the Hotel Bristol. She was looking for me, and I didn't know what to say to her, so I set up a meeting at the church next to the hospital she works with.
How did she know where to look for you?
And I will look at my shoes. And I'm saying,
Janina, what the fuck?
Well, I only gave her a phone number.
Smart one.
Yeah, I know. I'm not the smartest.
Did you also maybe give her a reason to worry?
I don't know, but I don't know how much she knows, but I tried to convince her to leave the Lana thing alone, but she doesn't want to leave it alone. And I decided I want to tell her the truth. I just want her to leave. I don't know what else to do. If she stays, there is no other option.
Fuck.
And I know the others might not agree.
Back, looks at the ceiling for a moment.
But I knew you will understand.
Yeah, I do. It's still a fuck up.
I know. But I just want her to leave.
Of course. So What do you want me to do?
I don't really know, but I want you to be there in case I will need help. I don't know if with convincing her or just, I don't know, putting her in a bag and putting her on a train. And I'm saying it jokingly.
He kind of looks to you a little bit, trying to assess whether you could actually do this. Yeah, right. Right, I go with you.
Thank you.
Of course I'll go with you.
It means a lot.
Nice place you've got here.
Yeah, it's kind of good. I'm glad that there is space for all four of us.
Yeah, we'll manage.
Yeah, there is also a phone. And
Who am I gonna call on the phone?
I don't know. We only have like phone numbers for the Hotel Bristol and for the Ventru. I don't know. Maybe you will want to have them over the phone.
Talking partner. Yes, I can't wait to speak to another Ventru. Always a fucking pleasure. And with that, he sort of starts getting ready as well to just lie down. You see that he is still wearing this bloodied, torn shirt. And he's still a little bit wounded. The wound has mostly closed now. But he's not quite fully healed yet. But you lie down to sleep. What are you thinking about, Janina, before you fall asleep?
Well, about tomorrow, that's probably the main thing on my mind. I'm mostly worried about Sarah because I'm not worried about like Camarilla getting mad at me or anything. And maybe my most bigger worry is that she will come to harm, that I will not succeed and she will be killed. I would say worse, but I don't know what could be worse. So that, and then I also think about like Bea and her task with Felicia. But that is more like, I expect, like, because the Ventru said they also have some plans. So I don't expect this to be a complete disaster. At least this. I mainly like worry about Felicia's mental state, if anything like would be wrong with Estera, and that's probably my main. But my mind slips towards Sarah and the fear of her well-being. So a lot of anxiety, and I'm very happy that Daniel is there with me.
And you fall asleep with anxiety, but reassured by the presence of your sire. And you, Bea. Felicia spends time with you. She starts getting ready for bed as well, eventually. But she comes to you. She explains to you where you are, that this is your new haven that you got from working for the Ventru Primogen Inn. She says she's very proud of you. She keeps singing to you. And eventually you start feeling sleepy. What is going through your head?
I am just very focused on Felicia. I was maybe vaguely aware of the sound of the door going, but then hearing Janina going to get it, just kind of blanked it. And I'm just trying to put all of my focus onto Felicia and watching basically everything that she does. So as she's brushing her hair, I'm just sitting and watching. The creepiest stalker. But it's all I can really bring myself to do in that moment is to just look at her. And I think I will end up falling asleep facing her. So that she will be the first thing I see when I wake up.
And she lies down and she smiles at you. And as you fall asleep, You see her smiling warmly at you. And you fall asleep. And please make your nightmares roll.
Oh boy.
You
Fingers
can
crossed.
regain a point of willpower, both of you, for the night. And you can also subtract the blood for this night.
I don't like.
What's my difficulty again for the nightmares roll?
7.
Okay, then I have 2 successes.
Then you're fine.
Yay.
Oh,
Thank God.
I wouldn't enjoy Nightmare Bear,
No, nobody needs
No.
a nightmare bear.
especially the
no. But it is calm night for Bear. Janina, you are the first one to wake up.
Okay, I'm trying not to lose any time, so I just wait for Daniel to get up. And meanwhile, I'll probably just look out of the window and check around the haven. Nothing before he wakes up.
The haven looks about the same. There's nothing that's changed over the course of the day.
I would be concerned if it did.
Yeah, exactly. So just to reassure you, nothing changed. When you look outside, you see more people out there now. It is earlier, so it's not a crowd in this district. It's a bit out of the way, but occasionally you see a couple of people walking past, chatting. It's still fairly windy. You hear the wind howling. You see some of the trees swaying in the wind. But other than that, it is a pretty clear night. And eventually, Daniel wakes up. He moves to the side with a kind of groan, stretches his hands, sits up.
Another great night.
He looks to you and clearly remembers some things, and his face immediately sinks. He's putting on his shoes. He's been sleeping in his clothes. He just took off his coat and his shoes. So he is putting that on again now. So, how much blood do you have right now, Janina? Just
5.
so
5.
5. You are feeling a little bit hungry.
Yeah.
That's something to keep in mind.
Yeah.
Daniel looks to you. So, you're meeting your friend, mortal friend.
Yeah.
When you said you want to tell her everything, how everything do you want to tell her?
I don't really know. I haven't thought it through to be really honest. But I just want to scare her enough so she would leave.
Don't do something that would get both you and her in trouble, all right?
I will try. What you would say to her so she would leave. Because
I don't fucking know. I
tried to tell her.
don't know how much she knows.
Yeah, I don't know. I think she thinks that we whatever we are, that we are holding Leonard captive. And until she'll see him dead, I think she won't stop looking for him.
This is not gonna end well, Janina, you know that.
Well, I want it to end up well, at least for her.
All right, then. Shall we wait for
No,
Bear?
I think we decided that we will come back after that and meet at the place.
You're going to come meet us at the school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I will explain Daniel the plan that we should go then meet them at the school. That he will, if he wants to go with me after this meeting to the school, he can, but I'm not forcing him to go there. It's like up to him.
I think he knows, yeah, for For the meeting with Sabbat, that is, to the school.
Yeah.
Never wanted anything less in my entire life. But I'll probably come with you.
Okay.
You take him to the nicest places.
Yeah. All right, so then I will maybe probably leave a note. I know that I probably told Felicia and Bea about that I'm gonna be meeting them there, but for Bea especially, I will leave a note anyway.
So you leave a note and you get ready with Daniel.
I'm probably also sleep with my clothes, so I'm ready whenever I'm up. But I'm gonna mention to him that I will need to feed on our way if we can find someone suitable on our way.
Of course. Let's do that. Come on. And you go out. He's putting his hands in his pockets. The coat is covering his wounded body. He is walking pretty straight now. If you didn't know, you wouldn't be able to tell he's still in a little bit of pain. And you start walking. Do you want to feed around here, a bit further
maybe
away?
Further away. Maybe
Further
more
away.
like some in between this and the church, somewhere like in the middle.
So you start walking towards the church. You pass the street that leads to the Poniatowski Bridge and start walking alongside a park that is near there. Meanwhile, Bea, you will open your eyes. It was a calm night. You feel rested.
I look up and see Felicia across from me and smile to myself and slowly sit up and then look around the room in a sort of confusion, not quite sure how I got here. And I'll reach for my notebook if that's nearby.
I imagine it would be somewhere nearby.
And I'll go through the last couple of notes. I've got a tick next to calling Cornelia. So I've done that. And Janina meeting with Sarah the next evening, Daniel to go with her. And I'll look around the flat at that point.
You would have found a note. What does the note say?
I would probably just I'm at the meeting with Sarah, with Daniel's with me, don't worry, everything's fine. Love, Janina.
Okay. And I'm reading that note and going through my notes from when I was overhearing the meeting, the conversation between Sarah and Janina. And just, I'm immediately worried. But I also have notes that we're meeting with Astera, so I have another thing to be worried about in the meantime, so I'm going to start getting ready.
So you're starting, so get ready.
Yeah. Starting my day off instantly stressed.
Yeah, I know that feeling.
Janina, roll your wit and alertness.
Okay.
Difficulty is 7.
I have 2 successes.
2 successes. That's quite a lot. So as you are, you pass the park and you start walking. You turn right away from the Vistula River. You start walking along the street. You see a man with a shovel over his arm. Quite a way well built, maybe in his 30s man. He's sort of whistling to himself, and he's turning from the street away, walking into the park, a little bit ahead of you. He appears to be alone and headed there, across the park.
I will exchange look with Daniel, and if he nods at me, then I will
He nods.
try to walk faster so I could catch up with the man. Maybe even running a bit when I'm still a bit far away so he couldn't hear me run.
What's your intention? Do you just want to...
If I will look around, if there's no one else, I'm just gonna try, because it's never gonna work for me when I'm trying to talk, so I'm just trying to like grab him from behind.
That's fair. No, you succeeded on your roll. You are able to identify the space where there isn't anyone around.
Okay.
So you just jump him. So roll your strength and brawl and your potence.
Okay.
Difficulty is 6, but I'm going to roll for him.
All right. I just hope I'm not going to get smacked with a shovel.
No, he rolls terribly. So
what was the difficulty?
6.
Okay, I have 4 successes.
And 4 successes, no problem. He doesn't even, like, he maybe just realizes, but he doesn't even have time to respond to that. But you're already on him, grabbing him and biting. Did you have 6?
I have 5.
You have 5. So please roll with difficulty 6. Your self-control.
I have 2 successes.
2 successes, that's fine. You are in control. How much are you taking?
Just 2.
Just 2. Yes, so you can control yourself. You feel the wonderful taste of Vita in your mouth, and there is a part of you that wants to lose yourself in it. But you are controlling it. You remember many times that it happened, but it doesn't happen this time. You are able to say no to yourself. And you move away. You lick the wound close. The man is sort of beginning to groan, and he's definitely dazed. He's sort of getting ready to pick himself up, but is not quite there yet. At the moment, just regaining consciousness.
Place my hands on his shoulder. Sir, are you all right? You stumbled a bit.
I must have shit, what happened? It has been a hard day at work. And he starts sort of, I'm sorry, who are you? What are you doing here on your own?
I'm not on my own, and I will point to Daniel. There's my husband.
Daniel is just sort of standing there at this point. And then man's like, hey man, excuse me, can you help me out a bit? And Daniel is just, there's a little sigh that makes himself do, and he comes up and helps the man up. You all right, sir? Took a little tumble there. And the man is just, I'm sorry. Your wife was very kind to come to my rescue. I'm feeling much better now. Sorry for the trouble. I better be heading home. And he's clearly like embarrassed by this. Daniel is just kind of standing there, trying to act the part. And then the man starts walking away and disappears in the shadows of the trees. Daniel looks to you. Husband, huh?
Yeah, well, that was the first thing that would raise the least suspicion, I guess.
Why do you... He was fine. Why talk to him and risk fucking it up?
I don't know. I just feel bad if I'm not talking to them.
Fuck's sake, Janina. One day this is gonna get you in trouble.
Oh, it already did many times. But I'm still here.
I'm with Daniel on this.
After spending a few moments just hiding his face in his hand, he puts his hands back in his pockets and, well, shall we go and look for some more trouble while we're at it?
Yeah, sure.
Oh, the brouhaha left unattended.
And he starts walking away back towards the street.
Yeah, I follow him.
And you follow him, and you are heading towards the church. And I think this is a good time to take a break. Thank you so much to everyone who's watching. Thank you for being with us. Once again, a reminder, we are this week raising money for United Help Ukraine, which is an organization that helps people that have been displaced in Ukraine by the Russian invasion. So if you're able to, please donate. Every little bit helps. There will be a link to the donation page on Facebook in the chat. Please follow that. Please spread the word if you can. And we will be back in 10-15 minutes to continue with the story. But if you are able to, please use this time to raise awareness about our fundraiser so that we can help the Ukrainian people who are fleeing the conflict. See you after the break. Thank you so much.
See you.
Bye.
Welcome back, everyone. Thank you so much for being with us to continue our story, the game of Vampire the Masquerade. This week, we are also raising money for United Help Ukraine, together with Roll for Ukraine initiative that is connecting various TTRPG streamers who for the next 10 days, it's all starting today, will be doing charity streams to raise money to help Ukrainian people who have been displaced by the Russian invasion. So if you are able to donate, please donate and spread the word so as many people as possible can learn that we are raising money and be able to chip in. Every little bit helps. So even if you can donate only really small amount, please do. We will be very grateful. We really appreciate your help and support in this. So with that, let's go back to delivering Vampire the Masquerade game. After the break, we will start with Bea. Bea, you are sitting there, worried for meeting with Estera, for Janina.
Yep. I read back over my notes for the last couple of days, trying to refresh what it is I'm doing, because I need to focus on that right now. I can't deal with whatever Janina's got herself into. And as I'm reading over my notes and remembering that I haven't been entirely honest with Felicja about this, I'm feeling increasingly awful. But also, I don't trust Estera. I don't trust her at all. So there's this protectiveness to her, and also this I'm being dishonest with her, but it's for her own good. I'm trying to justify it.
And you hear Felicia start moving in your room.
At which point I close my notebook and start focusing on not feeling the anxiety that I have bubbling in my chest, which is easier said than done, but I'm wanting to focus on, I have a job to do, I have a task to do, and I'm going to do it to the best of my abilities, and try and put like a game face on, and then get up and head back through to join her.
Do you want to hide your anxiety from Felicia?
Yes, I do.
Please roll your self-control and subterfuge.
Okay. I would like to spend a willpower on that before I roll.
Of course. Yes, difficulty is 6. I'm just going to roll for Felicia as well.
That is 3 successes.
3 successes. So Felicia doesn't seem alarmed. First, she is going through her routine, cleaning up her hair, putting on some makeup.
Okay. If she's doing that, then I'll start trying to help her with her hair.
She lets you.
And I focus on it.
And she gives you a smile. How are you, my dear, today? Are you feeling better?
I'm feeling fine, thank you, Mother. Was I unwell yesterday?
You seemed a little bit tired. I'm not quite sure what happened. You were talking to Janina, and when I came in, you were out of it for quite a while.
Oh. Well,
you're better now, and that's
yes.
what's important. You know these things happen to us all sometimes.
Of course, Mother.
You've seen me in such a state, unfortunately, as well.
I give her a warm smile, not remembering what she's talking about, but that's okay.
And you help her with her hair. She's putting on some lipstick. And she says, is Janina gone to her meeting?
Yes. Yes, she is.
Well, I'm not sure what you remember of what we overheard yesterday. You were writing in your journal.
I read my notes.
I'm concerned about that woman. How did she know? She found us. She knows where we are.
I don't know, but part of me wants to tell someone, but I don't know who to tell, and I don't want to get Janina in trouble.
Well, I think we should tell somebody in case she will be in trouble.
Okay.
I am worried it might not be safe for her.
Okay. Will you help me call the hotel?
Of course.
Okay. I'm not sure what. Well, I'll see who I get put through to first.
You have a number for Mariusz, who is a ghoul at the reception.
Okay.
And Felicia. She also looks at the phone for a bit.
Just two people trying to figure out how.
But then she kind of remembers and starts. Haven't used that device very much. Well, it's quite a luxury to have one at home.
Yes.
Not many people could afford that. Well, I still think it's quite a luxury nowadays.
Well, it's all very exciting and new. And I watch her dial the number, and
she dials a number. She's not super, it's not super quick, but she dials it fairly.
She's probably faster than I would be at this point.
Yeah, she probably is. And she hands you and you hear the ghoul that you know speaking. Hello, Hotel Bristol. How may I assist you?
Good evening. This is Miss Wozniak. I was looking to speak to one of Mr. Topolsky's people, if someone's around.
I'm sure someone will be around. Would you like me to get someone, or would you like me to convey a message?
If you could get someone, that would be deeply appreciated.
Of course.
Thank you.
Please wait a moment.
Of course. And I stand there, filled with anxiety, still not entirely sure what I'm going to say.
And sometimes passes. Felicia is smiling at you reassuringly.
And I'm looking to her very much in a, I'm doing this because Mother said it was right to do sort of way. I'm still worried, but
Are you feeling uneasy about what you're doing?
A little bit, but
Mm.
yes, no, I'm scared for Janina. Mother's also scared for Janina. Maybe this is dishonest, but I just want it to be okay. And at the moment, this is what is okay. So I'm just stand there sort of with increasing anxiety as I wait for someone to come.
You wait, like it takes some minutes, about 10 minutes maybe. It's quite a long wait. But you eventually hear movement there, and you hear Miss Wozniak, a familiar voice.
Good evening. Can I place it at all?
Can you place it at all?
Yeah.
You know what? Roll me your willpower with difficulty 6 and we'll see.
Okay, let's find out. Yes, I think I have a 6 and 2 10s.
Yes, absolutely. It takes you a while. I'm going off your botch last night. You're still a little bit, everything is a little bit more hazy. Mm-hmm. But you can place the Hound, Antoni Bielecki.
Okay. Good evening, sir. I wanted to call you out of concern of something that happened last night.
What happened? I'm listening.
There was a woman in the hotel, and she saw myself and Janina leaving, and she recognized Janina. From what I think she might know more than she should.
Who was this woman? Was that the one, Janina? Or was that someone? Is it related to what Janina's been working on?
I think so. Her name is Sarah.
I know who she is.
Janina has agreed. In fact, I'm going to roll to see whether I can get that out or not. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure what to roll for this. Like, conscience?
What is stopping you from saying it?
What is stopping Bea from saying this? I guess fear for Janina.
Fear for Janina. You're afraid for Janina. And you want to say it, despite it. Despite the fear.
I'm not sure, actually.
You're not sure?
There's a part of me that really wants to tell him, because Mother has said that this is what's to do. And there's part of me that wants to keep Janina safe. And there's part of me that knows this is, or suspects this is someone that Janina cares for. And I don't know where I am on the scale.
I might freeze up a little bit over the phone. Felicia is smiling at you.
Okay. In which case, the moment that she smiles at me, that makes the decision for me. She's meant to be meeting, she agreed to meet Janina at a church. I'll give the location. I think the meet is due to happen soon. I'm afraid someone might not be able to get there in time, but
I'll do what I can. Do you think there is a danger to, the Masquerade and to Janina?
I think there's a danger to the Masquerade. I don't know about whether Janina will be all right or not. I don't know how much she has. I don't know how much this Sarah woman has portrayed to anyone else.
I'll make sure.
Thank you. And
this is somehow resolved.
Thank you. I'm sorry for dropping this on you.
It's all right. I understand you have other duties tonight.
Thank you. Okay. Well, have a good evening, as much as one can do.
You too, and good luck to you.
Thank you. And I'll hang up the phone and try not to have a mental breakdown.
Felicia comes up to you. She sits next to you right now, so gives you a smile. She's going to be okay. They might get angry with her, but they won't get as angry as they would if she messed things up further.
I just want her to be okay.
She will be.
Okay.
Sometimes she is not the most responsible one. She acts rashly, she doesn't think. And it shouldn't be like this. I know you care about her very much, and because we care about her, we need to make sure she doesn't cause trouble for herself further than she does already.
Yes, Mother.
That's what would be expected. You both work for Clan Venture now. You more than Janina, from what I understand.
I did my duty.
Now they expect certain responsibility. They will not do anything to her, if that's what you're worried about.
I can't remember the context, and I'm worried that we have something to do this evening. We should focus on that.
Felicia looks to you for a moment. All right, let's focus on that. We are meeting Estera.
Yes. Yes. And I take a deep breath and start trying to mentally block out what just happened.
And you can regain a point of willpower for your nature.
Oh God! But at what cost? Great.
You are a soldier.
I sure am. Okay.
Meanwhile, Janina, you and Daniel are approaching the church. You see the place you recognize. There is a clinic organized in the building that used to belong to the church and house some of the priests. There is a small courtyard with a few trees, a bench between the church and the clinic. And there is the small church. You see, there is a little bit of light on inside, coming through the windows. It seems very quiet right now. Daniel is coming up to the fence, to the whole compound with you, looking at the church. Should I wait outside? Not to
Yeah, maybe wait here.
cause some kind of a
Keep
stare.
watch in case anyone,
What am I watching out for?
I don't know, danger.
Danger. He kind of sits himself on the small fence as much as he can. He's more like leaning against it, half leaning, half sitting, and starts, glancing to the street, glancing towards the church. You take care of yourself.
I will.
If there's
Thank you.
trouble, I will come in.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And I will hug him quickly, but firmly.
Gives you a hug. Please don't do anything stupid.
I will try.
Janina. I really hope it all works out for you.
I hope so.
And things will turn out as good as you hope. I do want you to be right.
Thank you. And I will just turn around and go towards the church.
And you start walking towards the church. You see on the door there is a note that says, "Apologies, tonight's service cancelled." But the door is slightly opened.
Good thing it's cancelled. Yeah, I will slowly open the door and smell the church smell.
You smell a slight smell of incense, some burning candles, a little bit of like humidity and old wood inside.
I love that smell.
And you see coming up from deeper in the church, Sarah coming up to the door to meet you. Her hair is tied back. She's wearing a fairly elegant but fairly old, tired coat. And she comes up to the door. "Come in, we can talk inside.
And I will go.
Few people here, but it's quiet and calm."
I will nod and close the door behind me and follow her.
You close the door. And you come inside and you see it's a very small church. There are a few benches on each side of the main aisle. In front of you, just as you enter, in the candlelight of some candles that give some light to the place all along, but not very many. It's this kind of very soft, warm light. You see on the wall opposite to you now a big crucifix over the altar. You see there are two people in the front benches. Looks like they're praying. There is also someone at the confessional to your left-hand side as you enter. Clearly at confession, sort of more well-built man kneeling there. And Sarah leads you to one of the benches, sort of in the middle, and gestures for you to sit.
Yeah. I will sit and try to put my hands on my knees, just so I would blend with the people.
She sees near you and kind of puts her hand as if in prayer, and starts speaking very softly. "We can talk safely here.
Right.
You can tell me what's going on. Did something happen? Are you in danger?"
I'm not in danger, but you are. If you can, Leonard and other things. The thing is that there is a secret society and they don't want anyone in.
What secret society? What
It's
happened to Leonard and Oleg?
They are both alive and well. They are in no danger, but you will be. And I will. Can I spend my willpower to really
Yes, please roll charisma and persuasion. Difficulty is going to be 8 because there are certain considerations in there. Well, actually, to convince her she's in danger is going to be 6. So 6.
Okay. I have 3 successes.
With the willpower?
4. With the willpower, 4.
4 with the willpower. Okay. For her. Okay. So she kind of looks to you. "I know I'm not safe. I know it's some complicated business. I've seen things happening. I know there's some dangerous people you and Leonard and Oleg got involved with.
The thing is that we are safe. because we are involved with them, but you're not safe. They will kill you if you won't leave this alone. Just go live your life.
Are you okay there? Are you sure you're safe and happy there?
Yes, I am.
Are you sure?
I am happy and I am safe.
Is that true?
Well, I'm safe, yes. I'm happy. Well, I'm trying
Roll
I'm
again.
Okay.
Roll manipulation and persuasion.
Okay.
You had a sort of equal roll with her before.
Okay.
So,
I have 8 and 9.
2 successes. Yeah. Wow, she's rolling really well. She's looking to you. I know there's something more you're not telling me. What is this society? I know there was something strange going on with Leonard. Janina, and she sort of moves her hand to touch your hand.
And I will let her.
I know you want to protect me. You've done it before.
And I'm not
please let me help you now.
You can't.
I know there is something going on with you. I know Leonard and Oleg were really resigned when they were going. They didn't want to.
Because they didn't know anything about it. They were.
Why would they join some weird society without wanting to and suddenly feel well there?
Because we have no other choice. We have to stick together.
Who are you?
We are sick people. It's me smiling, not Janina. Sorry, but we are people with the same sickness, and you have to stay away from us.
Shouldn't you be in the hospital if you have a sickness?
No, this is the sickness that no one can heal.
She kind of holds your hand.
And I will let her hold my hand
around sort of the wrist and stuff.
Yeah, I'm not trying to do blush of life.
And she just looks to you. Her eyes widen a bit. A little bit of perception and empathy.
Okay. I have 1 success.
1 success. She doesn't have any this time. You see that she's not really surprised.
And I will.
Meanwhile. Okay.
Hi, yes. Alright. Blissfully unaware.
Meanwhile.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm getting ready to head out to.
You're getting ready to head out. Felicia is sort of also getting ready. You see her glancing at the photograph. As you come back from the bathroom, you just catch her just looking at the photo in her hand.
Come up and sort of stand by her elbow. Just wait for her to be ready.
She gives you a bit tired smile.
Perhaps we'll get you some
I miss her so very much. I really hope we'll be able to get through to her. Like some sense into her head. She seems to think she discovered some great danger to us all.
I just nod and listen.
She puts the photograph back in her handbag.
Let's go and get her some answers.
Yes, let's do that. Well, I don't really know what to expect.
When you go to meet her, do you want me to be visible, or would you prefer to have a second set of eyes? Just in case anyone followed her.
I think she expects that you might
Okay.
come
Then I'll come with
with
you.
me. But well, I suppose it's smart to keep an eye out just in case.
Okay.
She is, after all, well, with those horrible, horrible people.
Yes.
I will never understand what went on there. I need to talk some sense into her and fast.
Right.
And she stands up as if she just found resolve to proceed with this, and with determination sort of puts on a coat and gets herself dressed in a manner appropriate for the season.
I follow suit. And then go to lock up the flat as we leave. I fumble with the keys for a bit because I'm not used to them and it takes me a while to figure out which key goes where. It's going to take me a while to get used to this.
I'm sure you will in time. It will be your home for, well, a long while, I hope.
Hopefully. Right, let's go. And start heading out.
She waits for you with no rush at all. She lets you find the right key and start heading out. You are out in the street. It is quite windy. You feel the strong, a bit cold wind on your face.
Okay.
Felicja gives you a bit of a smile. Well, it's going to take us a while to walk there.
It is.
But that's all right. We still have some time.
Are you looking forward to seeing her again, Mother?
She smiles before she even realizes. Yes, very much so. I've known her for so long now, and she's a very dear friend. I hope she can still be that. I really, really hope so. She was such a bright young woman. Why? I hope I will find out what happened.
I'd like to push through my fear of touch and put my hand on her shoulder.
Roll your self-control. It's, I think, difficulty 5.
Okay.
Because blood bonds do wonderful things like that.
Oh, they sure do. I have 3 successes.
No problem at all. You can push through.
And I reach out and put a hand on her shoulder. It's sort of it's an easier emotion than it normally is, but there's still just a moment of hesitation, gritting the teeth, and then leaning.
She gives you a smile. How are you feeling, Bea? What's going on through your head?
I've already made one poor decision this evening, and I show no sign of stopping. Sorry, no, that was Faye speaking rather than Bea. I hope that this can get resolved with minimal violence and with minimal trauma.
With this, are you referring to your meeting with Estera?
Yeah.
Janina's meeting with
Yes.
Sarah.
I mean both. At the moment, I'm focused purely on the task at hand. So I'm doing my best to forget about what I did earlier. And because I'm aware that Estera is Sabbat, I'm trying to keep my wits about me. I can't worry about 2 things at once. I just have to trust that Janina can handle herself. So at the moment, I feel frustrated, tense, there's also a part of me that feels like I'm doing the right thing, and there's a part of me that feels like I'm doing the wrong thing. But I felt that earlier, and Mother encouraged me to do the right thing for the Masquerade and for the Camarilla, so I'm doing the right thing for the Camarilla. I'm trying to justify this to myself.
And with that, you are walking, Felicja, slowly towards Poniatowski Bridge.
I'm keeping myself between her and the wind, and trying to keep an eye out for anything around us. I'm not so good with day-to-day life, but I'm just trying to make sure we're not being followed.
And for now, you don't see anything. You're just few people walking in workers' clothing, so most of them wrapped in coats, scarves, hats, some with wheelbarrows, some with shovels walking across the bridge too, and from their places of work. And you are walking. Felicja is smiling at you warmly as you shield her from the strong wind. Meanwhile, you see Sarah is not surprised by not finding her pulse.
I'm just looking at her, maybe like a sad smile.
She lets go of your hand.
I will put my hand right back on her hand, and I will press it very firmly.
I couldn't believe it at first. I thought Joanna lost her mind. And Adam both. What are you? A vampire? A striga?
I don't think anyone knows what exactly we are. But our society, they hate when normal people find out about it. So you are in danger.
You do drink human blood, like Leonard had to.
I do. I'm sorry.
What is going on with him?
He is one of us, so he's safe. Because he's with us.
Is he really safe?
He is safe for now. The problem is that he worries about you, the people that he unknowingly put in danger when he didn't know about what he was.
And would like to speak to him.
That will never happen.
Why not? Is he held prisoner?
He is held because he has to come to terms with what is expected from us. So he didn't make mistakes like he did already. But he is not in danger. He's safe.
But he's not free.
He will be free. Once you will be dealt with. And that's why I'm here. You need to take your family and leave immediately. Please, sir.
Roll persuasion and charisma.
Okay, can I will
7.
spend the willpower again.
Okay.
Okay. 3 successes. I have 9, 8, 10, and willpower, so 4.
You see that Sarah is like shaking a little bit. Where am I supposed to go? What am I supposed to do? Are we supposed to just leave Leonard there? What about Oleg? What happened to Oleg?
He's there with Leonard. Don't worry about them.
Is he one of you as well?
Yes, and I will say yes. And I'm not trying to tell her about ghouls. I just try to make that he's like us.
What am I supposed to tell? Where are we gonna go? Everyone is coming to the city for work. How are we going to live somewhere else?
I don't know, try another city. But forget about this and never mention it.
What am I going to tell my husband? And you see that she is like, she believes you. She's not protesting as such. She's just kind of lost.
I don't know. You have to convince him to leave with you and your children.
At which point you see a person stand up in a front bench and turn around, and you see it is Joanna and Adam standing up with her, and she says, "This is ridiculous. We're not going anywhere." Meanwhile,
the drama.
No!
I'm sorry, it has to be a drama. What did you expect?
I expected something kind of similar to this, but I'm still screaming. Hi, yes. Blissfully unaware.
There, you are walking with Felicja. You are crossing the bridge. It's a walk. For a long while you walk straight on from the bridge. Again, you pass some people. Felicja is very focused. She tries to reassure you with a smile, but you know her well. You can see some of the tension in her, some anticipation. She is fiddling a little bit with her scarf, arranging her hat, almost unknowingly, not quite realizing what she's doing as you are getting closer to the place. You are not quite sure where you are going. It is vaguely familiar right now, this walk. You feel like you've walked it before.
I'm mostly following her lead. Oops.
She is not well, and roll me your perception and occult as you are walking.
Oh no. What is my difficulty?
Your difficulty for this is 7.
7. Okay, I have a 7, 8, 9, and a 10.
All right. So as you are walking, suddenly you shiver and you see the ground underneath you crack and start opening, crack running between you and Felicja. And Felicja seems to just keep walking, completely unaware of what is happening. And you see this rift widening and widening and widening. And you see Felicja walk completely unaware, balancing on the edge without realizing. She's balancing on the edge, and you are walking, trying to balance on the edge as well, but the edges are getting wider and wider until suddenly it's all gone. And you see normal ground, a little bit of rubble on it, a little bit of dust.
I bite the insides of my cheek very, very strongly. And I'd like to roll to resist the blood bond.
Please do. Willpower, difficulty 8.
Oh boy. I have a single success.
You are able to resist the blood bonds.
There's part of me that's screaming that this is wrong, There's part of me that's screaming that I have a job to do. There's fear of what's going to happen. And I'm now walking slightly behind Felicia, not sure what to do, because for now I have some ability to act.
Having noticed that you stopped, Felicia sort of turns around. Oh, my dear, are you all right? And she turns back to sort of join you and be next to you. She takes a few steps back towards you.
I have a bad feeling, but I don't know.
Did you see something?
While I'm able to, I would like to lie to her.
What are you saying? You are able to. What are you saying?
I have a bad feeling about Janina.
Please roll. Manipulation and subterfuge.
How much of a lie that there really is?
Well, it's a half-truth, to be fair.
I am the queen of white lies. What's my difficulty?
6.
That I have 6 successes.
Oh,
That
nice.
is very good because she had 5.
Oh my god!
So, wow, some adept lying going on here. So she's, she believes it. You can see that she reaches towards your hand, stops, as if, asking.
I lean forward and I'm going to push myself to.
Yeah. Let's say you already rolled like fairly recently, so that is still, this still applies for the time of your walk at least. She grabs your hands. Well, what is it? Do you think there's danger waiting for her? We told someone. They will take care of it.
Yes.
Bea, I know. People know what Janina is like. They are not going to do anything to her, the Camarilla, for being a young, impatient bruja. They're all very similar in this. They all need to learn eventually, but she's still very young.
Yes, Mother.
And she's trying to reassure you and talking a little bit more about how, even if Janina gets herself in trouble, Camarilla now knows and they're not going to punish her too harshly. Most she will get is a slap on the wrist.
Okay. I'm trying to focus on that now. Okay. We should carry on.
And you carry on, and you continue walking towards the school. And you get to the outside of the building. And you see the same building with walls blackened after the fire that happened here.
By this point, I'm feeling awful. But I'm staring up at the school with a sort of resignation of this needs to happen. I don't remember why, but this needs to happen.
Have another point of willpower. Leaving Felicia there.
Thanks. I'm fine. Carry on.
And you walk with Felicja inside Schachtmeyer School. Janina, you see Joanna and Adam, the people who were living with Leonard, the ones who went missing, whom you were looking for, stand up and start moving towards you from the front of the church. And you see also the men from the confessional stand up, and the priests get out of the confessional, and they are moving towards you as well right now.
I'm not trying to do anything. I'm just maybe saying say to them, don't be stupid. You're dealing with monsters. They are going to kill you.
Joanna comes to you. I realize the danger. You and your friends made it clear you're not quite human when you came to see us. You were pretty threatening, not enough.
But we are doing it for your own good. Don't you understand?
Then I would like to get my friends, who, as I understand, are being held against their will. You see the man who was at the confessional, not the priest, but the one who was there kneeling, come to you, and he splashes some water at you. And then looks kind of expectantly.
I mean, if I was in a good mood, I could like pretend that I'm like, oh my God.
But do you?
Nah, I'm not gonna do it. But if it was a different situation, I would.
And you then see them all a bit tense. Sarah is saying, Joanna, maybe we should listen to her. Please. I don't want my children to get in trouble. And Anna says, I understand, but we want explanation. How many of you are there? What is going on? What happened exactly to Leonard?
He is no longer like you. Forget about Leonard, please.
He
wants you to be safe.
Own.
You are going yourself killed, and he will be feeling guilty because he got you into this. Do you want him to suffer?
Adam kind of steps out. You see he looks the oldest of the bunch, sort of in his towards mid-30s. He has this very tired look on his face. You said before, when you came to our place, that Oleg was some other type, you said.
Did I say? I don't remember.
You did. You told them a little bit about ghouls there. Like you didn't maybe give all the
because I completely I don't
exactly
remember
how that is, but you did like explain that it is something different. That might like influence the emotions, and Leonard didn't want to do the same to his other friends.
Right. Okay.
What's happening with him?
I'm trying to lie, and I'm going to say to them that he is also like Leonard.
Roll manipulation and subterfuge. It's a general sort of role for most of them.
And I'm spending my willpower.
You're burning through it.
Yeah. What was the difficulty? 6. Okay, I have 2 successes. One from the willpower and one from the rolls.
Some of them look more skeptical, some less. And I'm like, so you changed him?
Yes, it was safer.
Why would you do that?
Because it's safer for him. But please, imagine yourself in Leonard's shoes. He put all of you into this, and now he regrets it, because you are all going to die if you won't leave this alone. Just leave this place. And forget about it. Live your lives. That's what Leonard want for you. That what I would want for Sarah.
Adam is looking to Joanna and saying, maybe Leonard wanted us to run away. Maybe we should. Maybe we should listen. Joanna is sort of glancing to the priest. Your people. You hang out at this fancy hotel. Are you a danger to people here?
No, we are not a danger when we are together and we are controlling ourselves. But we are danger to people who knows about us. So please, just leave Leonard alone, forget about him. He wants you to be happy and to live your lives, not to die because of him, because he will blame himself if you die.
So what do you propose?
Take your families and leave this place. Go to live in a countryside or another city. And just forget about this all.
Sarah is like nodding her head at this point. She's looking, maybe we should go. She's kind of looking to the others. The sort of well-built man with dark facial hair is like shrugging, saying, I still can't believe the word of this, if I'm honest. Sarah is like, she doesn't have a pulse. And he just looks kind of skeptical, confused, not sure what to make of it all. Adam is saying, Joanna, maybe that would be better. We could start a family. We could finally... we're tired of all of this. Maybe he's really safe. Maybe he's just looking out for us.
He is. I have seen him
I would
yesterday.
like to know for sure.
You have to trust me. I don't know what to do, but you can see him. Not right now.
The priest kind of steps towards you. My dear child, if I may.
Please.
You must understand a certain hesitation from them, given what they are now faced with.
I know, but we are no longer human, and we want to save you. This is the most human thing that I can do for you. I want you to be safe. I don't know any of you except Sarah, but that's what I want. I want you to be safe.
Joanna is thinking, looking to... you see that everyone is kind of looking to her, except the priest. She's looking at Sarah, she's looking at Adam, looking at you. I believe you. As in, I believe you're not human. I believe Leonard wasn't human. That's the only thing that explains it, no matter how difficult that is for me to believe. Can you get him out?
I don't think I can do that, but I can convey a message for him.
If you were able to get him and Oleg out, we could run together. Take care of them.
No, you can't. It's better for you to be away from them. We need to stick together. And Leonard doesn't belong with you anymore. He belongs with us. I'm sorry.
Roll persuasion and charisma.
Oh, okay.
Difficulty 7 against her willpower.
Okay. I will spend I have 2 willpower, now 1.
Oh
What? Okay, I have. What was the difficulty?
Difficulty is 7.
Okay, so 2 successes plus 1 from the willpower, so
2
3.
successes provide for your willpower. She looks to you, and you can see her thinking very intensely. She looks to Sarah, who is visibly scared at this moment. She looks to Adam, who is putting a hand around her, on her shoulders. Joanna, please. She looks to the priest, who nods his head, says, I believe at this moment it might be the wisest course of action. And Joanna says, all right. I suppose that is what we're doing. Can you let him know? Can you tell him I wanted to come for him?
I will tell him. I'm sure he knows that. But he wants you to be safe. That was what he told me when I saw him yesterday.
All right, we'll leave.
Please, and just...
Roll perception and alertness.
Okay. What is the difficulty?
The difficulty will be, you are quite preoccupied. 7.
Okay, so 1 success.
1 success. So you were pretty preoccupied with the conversation, quite focused on convincing these people to leave. And you hear a car engine outside. And then you hear steps coming towards you.
Okay. I'm just... if I can, I will ask just like all of them if they are expecting anyone.
Joanna glances around, not that I know of. The priest says it might be just some parishioners.
Okay, just
coming to pray. I will try to dissuade them from coming in.
pretend that everything's all right.
And he looks to you, puts an arm on your shoulder, Janina. I know what's inside you must be difficult, but you are doing the best you can.
Thank you.
May God be with you.
Thank you, Father.
And he starts walking towards the door. Meanwhile,
Just did a bad thing. I regret the thing I did. Right. Yep. Hi. I've made so many.
I was curious if you were gonna go with it or not.
Yeah. Well,
Felicia obviously thought it was a good idea, but
yeah, she did.
But you are now with Felicia.
For how much longer? Who can say? Right. I'm looking sort of at the ruined building. Where are we meeting?
I assume the same place.
Okay.
It's her old classroom. She used to teach there.
Okay.
She looks to you. I know you're worried about Janina. She'll be safe. And Astera would never hurt me.
Of course. I say, and I'm already looking for anyone invisible. I trust that she maybe doesn't mean to cause Felicja direct harm, but I don't trust the Sabbat. Yeah.
That is very fair sentiment. Roll perception and awareness. Difficulty 7.
Okay, let's see how this goes. Given I've rolled quite decently so far, I get the feeling it's not going to go well, but we'll find out. Three successes.
3 successes, okay. You don't see anyone outside.
Okay. Let's go.
Felicia starts walking in. And just like the day before, you walk up the stairs, the second floor, along the corridor, and into a terrace, old classroom. And when you enter, you see her immediately standing, looking out the broken window. You see her curly hair are now tied quite tightly back, although they remain rather unruly. She is wearing heavy boots, short, very simple brown jacket, and some loose woolen trousers that have a little bit of mud on them. She put a lamp on in the room, so there's a little bit more light.
Okay.
And as you are entering, she turns and gives a smile to Felicia, and Felicia immediately looks at her and walks a little bit into the room, but doesn't quite approach towards the window where Astera is standing. And Astera doesn't approach either.
Okay.
They sort of remain separated by most of the space between the wall along the corridor and the outside wall.
While I'm looking at Astera, I'd like to activate Eyes of Chaos to try and figure out what's about to go down.
Roll perception and occult.
What was my difficulty?
Difficulty for this would be 7.
Then I have 2 successes.
2 successes. So you're trying. You're focusing very strongly on Astera. And you see something flicker when she looks, some interest flicker in her when she looks to Felicia, and you're not quite sure, you can't quite discern anything. And then you sort of look down to your own hands, and you see your fingernails sharpen, and you see some blood stemming from them. And then it's gone. But you don't get a sense of danger from Astera.
Okay.
At this point, at least.
Okay.
But you get somewhat from yourself.
Good. I'm leaning against the wall, watching very intensely, very distrustfully.
They are watching each other. Astera is the one who smiles and, without approaching, says, "I'm glad you came, Felicia. I missed you so much over the last years." She looks to you, and it's good to see you there under more favorable circumstances.
I give her a tight smile, because I don't remember what the circumstances we previously met under were.
You get the flicker of something unpleasant.
Yeah, but I will just nod. And I'm just here with Mother.
Felicia replies, "Of course I came, dear. I want to know what happened. I don't know what you've been through and what was done to you, but it is not too late. We can still reverse everything. You can still come back, and then we can talk about any danger you might have heard of. I don't understand." Stella looks down for a moment, shakes her head. "I expected you would want. You always cared about me so much, just like I care about you. But I can't go back. I don't want to. Felicia, the things I learned, nobody in the Camarilla would tell us about them. There are greater monsters out there. There's a danger to us all. I know Sabbat seems violent, and I was resistant for a very long time. I did not want to believe what I was hearing. But their violence, what they do, it's not senseless. There is a purpose to it all." Felicia just shakes her head. What kind of purpose can there be? This is... Do you wish to do something?
I wish to use a willpower to try and think of the danger in the city, and try and focus on, because this feels slightly familiar. I feel like I've listened, not necessarily to this conversation, but there's aspects of it that feels familiar, and I want to try and push.
Yes, you can spend willpower to remember that night and what happened then in your conversation with Incertum, the Malkavian Primogen.
Okay, I will just sit there with that knowledge now in my head, and listen to her for the meantime.
Felicia is protesting what can be the cause for such violence. She's clearly offended by the notion. Estera takes it, listens to it, and says, "You know as well as I do that Camarilla isn't all good and moral either, and also does things that are necessary for its survival. But they either won't see or refuse to acknowledge, or they lie to us all on purpose. It's all a preparation. We must be ready for when the time comes. There is so much I need to explain. I learned a lot over these few years. Let me teach you now. You've taught me so much." At this point, Bea, you see a person entering the room. And you see that she walks in. She's blonde, young-looking woman. Yes, that's Janina for the players. Wearing a very elegant dress with a pattern of blue flowers. There are a few bloodstains here and there on the dress. And she just walks in, and you see that she is hidden. And you see that Felicia's eyes glance to her as well. But she doesn't do much about it.
I am immediately going towards Felicia.
Felicia isn't far from you. You're almost right next to her.
I'm pulling her backwards.
You're pulling her backwards.
Away
Felicia,
from Janina.
Around this time, Felicia sort of grabs her head and starts feeling a little bit shaking. Estera looks as if she wanted to move towards her, but she stops herself and doesn't.
I'm baring my fangs at Janina.
She gives you a smile. Felicia is just sort of holding her head.
If no one is moving, then I'm slowly pulling out a knife from my pocket.
Estera is looking a bit confused. What is going on? There is no need for it. I mean none of you any harm.
She does.
Oh, is she around here? And you look, and you realize she doesn't see her.
Good.
She doesn't. She just likes to show off.
Well,
You can't expect me to come alone to a meeting with a Camarilla. You are together after all, aren't you?
Indeed. And I came here uncloaked.
Felicia is sort of holding her. There's no need for this, my dear girls. There's no need for this. Oh.
My eyes are darting back and forth between Ermina and
you see Ermina just sort
Estera.
of leans against the wall.
Okay. In which case
looks visibly bored.
Okay.
Kind of rolls her eyes.
Then I will look back to Estera. This danger that you speak of. Is it to do with a thing in the sewers?
She looks a bit confused at that. A thing with the sewers? No, not that I know of, no. I don't think it's around. Well, I hope not. You should. She looks alarmed at this.
Well, you
How
think
many
you're
danger there is in the city?
Yeah. Well, you think you're the only one who's been busy.
I don't. But if you know something, you should really
tell us about.
No. I mean, yes, there is someone who can explain it better than I can. Felicia, please. I can take you to a man who will explain everything to you. Please at least think about it. She takes a step closer. Felicia sort of strengthens herself to look at her. She looks to you. Felicia looks to you, Bea, looks to Estera.
I just nod. I nod slightly. I'm with you, Mother. Let's talk about all of this. Tell me, okay, Estera, what is going on? I want to believe you. I see that you believe what you're saying. If there is danger, well, what happened to you? How can you agree to all those horrible things? Estera. Looks to Felicia. There is a lot I still don't understand, but I can take you to people who will explain. Not necessarily right now. You can think about it if you want. At this, Irmina sort of, if you're still sometimes glancing to her, oh yes, absolutely,
exaggerated yawn. And she's there sort of pacing around the room and coming a little bit closer and looking at you.
I'm keeping my eyes on her now.
And she takes out a mirror and takes out a lipstick. And starts putting on lipstick. And looks to you. And you realize she's starting to copy your makeup onto her face. Observing you.
I start looking at her and looking at her face and looking at her stance. And I'd like to use Eyes of Chaos on her.
All right.
You want to fuck with the Malkavian? Cool. The Malkavian's gonna strike back.
Perception and occult.
The audacity
It'd be
of
hard.
her.
I think, like I checked last time, it's difficulty 9 if you don't know her.
Yep.
And you don't know her almost at all.
Her. That's absolutely fair. One moment.
Yeah.
I have 1 success.
You have 1 success.
Mm-hmm.
So, with 1 success, you realize, you look inside her, and you space out a bit from the conversation when you do that. It takes you a little bit. You focus on her movements, and you see her fingers move and copy your makeup. And you see certain glee in it, and you see her hands almost turn to stilettos as you look at them, and you see something very sharp underneath it in her mind. And you see her spread the lipstick, and it almost looks like her spreading blood on her face. And you see some of her in here smile at the thought. And you learn that her nature is sociopath.
Oh, good.
Wonderful.
Wonderful. Yeah, this is my favorite thing I've learned today. Okay. I make a mental note of that. And then as I start coming back to the conversation, I'm looking at her body language and I'm starting to mimic some of her body language.
She's trying to mimic your body language. So you are kind of mimicking each other.
Okay, good. We're right.
Kindred comedy.
Yeah.
You come back to the conversation. And you hear Estera go, I am really worried about you. Do you think Camarilla is crumbling? I heard the anarchs are gone. What do you think is going to happen now to all those who hide at the hotel? Please, I don't want to see you diablerized. I don't want to see you gone. Please at least think about it. And you see, when Estera is talking about diablerie, Mina just sort of licks her lips a little bit.
Sure.
And Felicia is, all right, my dear, I will think about it, but I really don't think it's as bad, Camarilla. I'm sure we're not as weak as you think we are. Estera, sort of, and you see that Felicia is still kind of shaking. She's still visibly in pain during this conversation. Roll me once again perception and occult with difficulty 8.
Oh, God. I have a 9 and an 8 and a 9, so successes.
How many?
4.
4, okay. So, Estera takes a step closer.
Mm-hmm.
And Felicia is explaining that she thinks Estera should come with her and we can talk about this. sure your friend won't mind and all that. And you start seeing this rift opening again in the floor. And you see a blood dripping from your hands. And you know something is about to happen. And at that moment, you see two people materialize near Estera, both Nosferatu.
Aww.
As one, with greenish brown skin, slightly hunched, with big bags, looking kind of familiar for the players. It's Clemens, grabs her. And another, Nosferatu appearing next to her, a woman, looking kind of greenish gray, sick looking, with a patchy skin, have sort of elongated downwards ears, and very thin, slightly, like tilted sideways body, as she stabs Estera in the back. At which moment you start hearing screams somewhere at the back of your consciousness. Meanwhile,
The drama everywhere.
Just did a bad thing. So many
Yes.
things.
So many things.
So many
How can
things.
you sleep at night?
I don't normally play evil characters.
I would say it's not your fault, but you know.
It's entirely my fault.
Meanwhile, at the church, we probably slightly earlier at the church, but still. Janina, you hear steps.
Okay. I instinctively go towards Sarah.
Yeah. And you are near Sarah. The priest goes, and he starts. You hear him start to explain. I am very sorry the series has been cancelled. I'm dealing with a private matter right now. And you hear a voice that you recognize instantly as Antoni's say, I understand, but I insist. I must speak with Janina. I believe I am here for that matter. And he does walk past the priest inside. And you see Daniel walking with him with this sort of grim, sunken expression on his face.
I instinctively stand up in front of Sarah and like shield her with my body.
Antony looks to everyone. I apologize for this interruption, but I have some things to discuss with Janina. And he looks to you. Janina, have you made your decision? I believe we have to act quicker than was expected.
And I will turn around to Sarah and say, run. That's all I can do. And I'm
Joanna, as you're doing this, Joanna is about to start saying, who are you? You turn to Sarah to say to her, run, at which point Antony looks at her and says, stay. And let's see how he does.
I'm then going to jump on Antony.
Oh my god. Okay. So this is what's going down. Okay. Please roll the initiative.
Okay. How do I roll that?
Roll your wit and alertness.
Okay.
You want 6 and higher, and you have specialty, so 10s will count as 2 successes.
Okay. I have 110. And what was the difficulty?
6.
Okay, so I have 3 successes and 110.
3 successes and 110 on top of that.
Yeah.
So it's going to be 5
Yeah.
successes. So what happens is, you tell Sarah to run. Like, Joanna was about to start asking, who are you? But she kind of stops mid-sentence. You tell just Sarah to run, at which point Antoni turns to her almost immediately and says, stay. And Sarah stays. She freezes in place. And you jump, Antoni.
Yeah.
What is your intention? This has gone.
I want to jump him and bite him and feed from him. I don't care.
Go for it. Roll your dex and roll to pin him to the ground.
Okay.
Difficulty is 6. You can add your celerity as well.
Okay. So 2 successes.
So you manage to jump on him.
Per church.
And you're about to start feeding from him, like, you pinned him to the ground. Or do you want to straight go for, like, bite?
I will pin him to the ground, and when he's done, then I will try to, like, bite him.
Okay, then you will try to bite. Okay, so you have him pinned to the ground. At which point, you feel someone pulling you off. As Daniel grabs you to pull you off, Antoni.
I'm trying to resist, and I'm yelling at Daniel that he has to let me go. He promised to help me.
Roll. Strength and roll, and you can add your potence.
Okay.
Difficulty is 6.
Okay. 3 successes.
3 successes. How many does he have? He has 4. So he does pull you off, Antoni, holding you in his arms.
And I'm screaming at him to help me, to help them run away. And I'm probably, like, screaming to others, so they took Sarah and ran away.
At which point, you see that the man that you don't know, the one who sprinkled you with holy water, pulls out a gun and starts shooting. And Adam and Joanna pull out guns and they start shooting at Antoni.
I'm screaming that it won't work.
And it's now the next turn. Do you wish to spend any blood? You can spend. You have 1 blood point to spend, so you can spend it on celerity, or you can spend it on boosting some of your stats.
I will spend it on celerity, so I could.
You're spending it on celerity, so you are going to have 2 actions. At which point, Antoni, still from the ground, pulls a gun and shoots. He fires 2 shots. 1 at the man standing, the man who sprinkled you with holy water, and 1 at Joanna.
This church will need an exorcism.
Yeah.
Sort of, yes. Yep.
What about desecrated ground? How do you feel about that?
Yeah.
Okay, and you see the man go down. And Joanna sort of grabbed her arm, wounded.
Okay. I will still.
It is now your turn.
Okay, I will try to.
Daniel is holding you, and as you've been screaming, he's been held.
Help me, Daniel.
I can't let you do this.
You have to. You promised
I
me.
can't. I don't
won't-
know why he showed up, but you can't.
Sarah has to live.
Yes, but you're not gonna achieve it by doing that.
Let me go, please.
You can't save everybody.
But I can save Sarah.
You have to learn that.
No,
What are you doing?
I'm trying to break free.
You're trying to break free. Roll your strength and potence and roll against Daniel, who rolls the same.
I have 2 successes. I have 1 and 8 and 9.
You have 2 successes as well, so you roll again. Or actually, let's say that for now it means you kind of engage with him. So you sort of broke free, he grabs you again. You can't quite break free, but it will be, easier to break a hold now or to do something else if you want. Meanwhile, what happens is, you see everything is happening very quickly. So you see the priest go for Antoni's hand with a prayer and just stop this. And you see here Antoni scream in pain.
Good.
As the priest grapples him.
Okay.
And Adam is still trying to shoot Antoni. Still just shooting.
Okay.
Sarah has hidden, like she was standing there frozen, and she kind of managed to take some cover.
Okay. I'm screaming at her to run, to go away from here.
You see that she is crying, and she's almost like fighting something that's holding her in place, and she can't.
Okay. And I will try to break free from Daniel.
Yes, you have your celerity turns come in, so you can try again to break free from Daniel.
Okay. Three successes.
3 successes. Okay. The one. You can't. You almost break free, and he grabs your hand and still holds you in place. Janina, you can't. That's not the way.
I don't care.
I do. Somebody has to be responsible here.
I am responsible. I'm responsible for her.
Save her, but not like that.
But how can I save her? He will kill her.
He just sort of pulls you towards him and tries to grab you in a hug.
Okay, then I will stop struggling and I will say, just then help, let's help her escape. And I'm not trying to attack Anthony anymore. I just want to grab Sarah and to run away from the church with her.
Daniel, that will let you go.
Okay.
But before that, Antoni, who sort of is held by the priest and is in pain and kind of shocked. He takes a moment to compose himself. He looks to the priest, thinks better of it, looks to Adam, who is still shooting the priest, and says, shoot him, and gestures to the priest. And let's see how he does.
I hope badly. Poor priest.
Nah. Dominate is a very good discipline. And as you move towards Sarah, because you are free now, so
Yeah.
what will you be doing?
I want to go towards Sarah, grab her, and to run away from the church. If there's like any other entrance on the other side, then I will go there. If not, then I will just...
Well, there is, you don't know if it will be open. Like,
yeah,
there is,
but I'm gonna try.
Yeah. Okay. So you're moving towards there. You are grabbing Sarah, starting to grab her, and she kind of tries to move, and
And I will carry her if she won't.
So
if she
you
won't
pick
go.
her up and
Yeah.
you start carrying her, and she's crying at this point, and shaking. And you pick her up and you start running, and you hear shot, and you see
I don't
Adam
even
shoot a priest.
Yeah. I'm just trying to bolt it out of there with her.
And Daniel is going with you,
Okay.
following you. You get to the door. This door is open.
Okay.
And you get to the sort of, I don't know the name for it, but the priest's area where all the stuff for the church is stored. And you see another door out, and this door is locked.
Okay, then I will look at Daniel if he can break it with his super strength.
He stops for a moment.
Please, Daniel.
Janina, they will not let her go.
I don't care.
And I don't want you to get in trouble.
I'm already in trouble. I already attacked Anthony.
Something. Oh, okay. I guess that. He steps in front of the door. I can't let you do that.
Please, Daniel.
I'm sorry.
Her life is more important than my life.
There's other ways to save her life.
What other ways?
Can erase her memory. He can do that. Didn't he say he would try?
I don't know. I don't trust any of them.
He just wanted to talk to you. He wanted to wrap this up. He didn't want to kill them all. Why did you jump him?
I don't know, because I thought he will, and because I don't trust them. They don't care about the people.
You hear another gunshot from the other part of the church. And you hear steps coming towards you.
I will put Sarah down and I stand in front of her and bare my fangs.
Antoni comes in. And he sort of stops in the doorway and looks to you and looks to Sarah behind your back. He stays there silent for a moment and strengthens himself. Janina, I didn't want all this to happen. Not like that. What shall I do right now?
If you want to kill her, you will have to kill me first.
You know I didn't want to kill any of them. I told you that. I thought we were honest with each other. There are other options. We talked about this.
I just wanted them to leave.
You know we could not have allowed that.
Yes, because you only care about yourself.
Well, perception and empathy.
Okay. I have 8, 8, and 9.
8, 8, and 9. 3 successes. Okay, so you do actually see that he is devastated,
Okay.
ashamed, and really angry with you.
What surprise.
But he is devastated by what happened. And he almost recoils from your words when you say he only cares about himself.
Well, I meant like kindred. I didn't mean
And
like
you
that
notice little shake to his hands, very slight. Little twitch to his face that betrays emotions. And you know that like it hurt him very deeply. And he is deeply disturbed and in despair over what happened.
Okay, I will probably calm a bit down when I see that he really is devastated, but I'm still like standing in front of Sarah, but I'm trying to be less in aggressive stance. I'm more like just like staying there. Sorry,
We talked about other options. Blood, memories.
I know, but you show here unannounced and I panicked.
Because I was told in a meeting with those people.
Who told you? Was it
He looks
Felicja?
through. Doesn't matter, I know. What matters now is what shall I do now? Shall I try with the memories?
If it spares her life, then yes.
Sarah is... It's like, what are you talking about? Just leave me alone. I will go. I will move out of the city.
They won't allow that. You saw what happened there. We're monsters. It's too late.
I don't want to. What are you going to do to me?
You're going to be safe.
Up. I won't hurt you. Be still. And she is crying, and you see her face has gone red, and her eyes are kind of bloodshot now. And Daniel is just standing there looking at his shoes and completely dark, hopeless expression at this moment. And Antoni looks into Sarah's eyes.
I will hold her hand if she lets me.
Looks into them. Very focused look. She's crying, she's shaking her head for a moment, but then she comes down. And okay, it takes a while. Tony is just looking at her. And he is describing. She's never seen any of this. And different memories that replace them. Her friends just moving away, running away. The Polish communist government. She will keep taking care of her family, her children. He is being asked for. You see that he knows quite a lot about what's been going on in their relationships, more than you conveyed to him ever. And then he finishes. Sarah just kind of blinks and looks very confused for a moment. We need to take her out of here. I believe it worked.
Good. Thank you.
And he leaves her, sort of be, and starts walking back towards the church, but looking to you and Daniel with expectations and Sarah. And Daniel comes up and starts slightly leading Sarah out.
I'm going with them.
Going with them. And you see, inside the bodies of Adam and the priest and the man you didn't know lying there. And Joanna sitting there, crying. She looks to Antoni as he enters. And he just says, wait here for a moment. And leads Sarah and you outside the church. And then moves to Sarah. Looks to Janina. I believe she shouldn't see you right now.
Of course.
We don't want to build any new memories.
And I will.
He looks to you. Please stay with your sire in a car. And he throws keys to Daniel. And starts leading Sarah. He's thinking where to take her and leads her along the street.
I'm watching them. We are going to the car.
Daniel is walking to the car. He's not looking at you.
Yeah, I'm not looking at him either.
He opens the door, lets you in the car.
I'm gonna sit in the car.
Sits there, with you, next to you. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm sorry too. Because if it really was an intention of Antoni to help, then I killed all those people.
So fucked up. There was no way of saving them all. I believe that. But we could have saved more.
Yeah. Do you think he will try to erase memory of Joanna, the other woman sitting there, wounded?
I'm not sure. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I'm sorry too. I'm sorry for all those people. And for Leonard, because once he will find out about this, I promised I will keep them safe. And they died because of me.
He puts his arm around you. And doesn't say anything. Just looks out of the window. And I think this is a good moment to end with a bit of a cliffhanger on the other thread of the story. Thank you so much for playing.
Thank you for running.
Yeah,
Thank you to
amazing.
everyone who's been watching. We hope we delivered a good emotional story for you. But we are doing this to raise money for Ukraine. So one last reminder, if you only joined us in the second half, this is a charity episode as a part of Roll for Ukraine initiative. There will be a link to the fundraiser for United Help Ukraine somewhere in the chat. Please, if you are able to donate, any little amount helps. There will be more streams happening as part of Roll for Ukraine. There is also some merchandise being sold by Mondokane. There should be a link for that in the chat as well. So all this money goes to help the people who have been displaced by Russian invasion of Ukraine and to help the Ukrainian families who are fleeing the war to get to safety. So please stay tuned to Roll for Ukraine, spread the word about it, visit some other streams, support them, just to make sure as many people as possible learn about this initiative, and donate money to help the people who have been affected by a real life, really, really horrible situation. And if you want to organize the stream, Roll for Ukraine is running for the first 10 days of March, so there is still time to put something together and contribute. If you search for them on Facebook, there should be information there for how to do that. It's an open event. So if you are streaming and would like to join and help raise some money, please do. I'm sure everyone involved will really appreciate it. Thank you so much for your help. Thank you for watching. And we are planning to be back in 2 weeks, but given the situation, we will confirm that, of course, on Twitter, but the next episode should be on the 14th, and we believe, or the 15th of March, and we believe that's when we will be streaming again. Thank you again for your support. Thank you for your donations. Please spread the word about Roll for Ukraine.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good night.
Good
Thank
night.
you.
Bye.